Hey guys, welcome back to another lesson. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun. Don't take this video or lesson too seriously. And it's intended for the beginner intermediate players among you. And we're going to take a very simple chord progression, which is a C minor, A flat major, D major, F minor, C major, and turn it into something impressive. Not necessarily technically complicated, but something that when you finish playing, people will say, wow, this guy can really play, or girl can really play piano. Despite the fact that you might not really have the skills to pull off Rachmaninoff's second concerto. So it might sound like this. And there's a continuation as well, but let's build towards this. So as I said, we're going to start with a simple set of chords. These are triads in their root positions if you're interested in the theory, but you don't have to know any theory for this video. The first chord is a C minor. The second is an A flat major. Then a D major. F minor, and C major. So the first thing that you can do is you can play the same chord in both the right and left hands, and then you can just, play them next to each other and then play them again an octave up and an octave up, and so on. And you're going to start as down below as you can without the double chords sounding muddy. So you don't want to play this for a C major, that's a bit too much, but this would be acceptable. And while you're holding down the pedal of the piano, the sustain pedal, you're going to play So just go up an octave each time. The same set of notes, just going up an octave each time you play. Now you'd probably want to put a lot of force when you hit these chords, because you want to bring out the attack of the piano. So instead of playing this, you want to really sort of hit these notes. And then it would sound like this. You don't have to play it fast. I just played it a bit fast here, again, to give you, it adds to the impression, but it doesn't have to be fast. You can play it more relaxed, like I played the intro bit. And then all you have to do is you have to play 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3. For each chord, you play 4 octaves. So, starting from a C minor to an A flat major, D, F minor, and a C major. Now you can actually loop this, so you can play C minor, A flat major, D major, F minor, C major, A flat major, D major, F minor, C minor. So you can basically repeat the pattern over and over, and each time just change the first chord from a C major to a C minor, and vice versa. Now, the second step we'll take is exchange the first chord, so this thing over here, with a double bass. So a double bass means taking the root note of the chord, so for a C major to be a C, for an A flat major to be an A flat, for an F minor to be an F, and so on, and play it as a double bass, both in the left hand, as low down as you go, and also in the right hand. So you'll be spanning 4 octaves, C, 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 and C. And this, play it as low down as you can. And remember to hit it with a lot of force to make it sort of come out, to bring out the sharp transients. And for the A flat major, D, F minor, C major. So it sounds very impressive. Again, the problem with this is that it might build too many expectations in your listeners, and they might ask you to play like a Grieg concerto or a Rachmaninoff concerto when you're done. That's your problem, really. That's on you. Now, what do you do after you finish maybe playing this once or twice? Or first of all, you can keep this up for a fairly long amount of time just by playing your own chords. You don't have to play the chords I've shown you. You can do this with any progression of chords. But after a while, it gets a bit too tiring, too bombastic. And then what you want to do is you want to, after the last chord, you want to actually create contrast. So the next part you're going to play is going to be quiet. And it's going to be an arpeggiation. Basically, you're going to take the C, let's say you're playing a C major chord. So you're going to take the C major chord and play it in the left hand, then in the right hand, then in the left hand, you're going to cross over, and in the right hand. Then you're going to hit the uppermost note, which is going to be a C, basically the root of the chord, and then go down. And then you can do or repeat this for the next chord. So let's say I'm going from a C major to an A flat major. It would sound like this. To a D major. To an F minor. Back to a C major. So it has this triplet feel to it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it doesn't have to be very evenly played in terms of tempo. You can slow down and speed up a bit. That's fine. Again, don't take this too seriously. This is not a classical concerto performance. Well, after you do these arpeggios, which again you can do for quite a while, they again start to become a bit boring. So what can you do next? Well, the next thing you can do, which again is fairly impressive, I think, the arpeggios are impressive because you're crossing hands. And the next thing is you can cross hands, but use the third crossing to play a melody. And let's start this out in steps. So my cat, she wants to join us, but fortunately she can't. Let's do this in steps. I'm going to play just 2 octaves. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing, again, the root position of the chord, so a C major in this case. And then I'm hitting any of the notes that are in the C major chord, so that it can be a C, an E, or a G, and then go back down. E. G, C, anything, E, and then the next chord, E flat, C, next chord is the D major, F sharp, F minor, back to a C, and another thing that you can do with these crossover melodies is you can repeat the upper arpeggio for as many times as you want as you build up your melody. Let me show you what I mean. So when I played the F minor chord, I was just repeating this middle or last arpeggio. Okay, it gets a bit confusing if you don't keep track or you're trying to talk while you're doing it like I am, but I hope you get the hang of it, right? You can just and when you're done, you can just go back to the full arpeggio. That's it. I hope you've learned something interesting, and I'll see you next time.